Hello everyone, and welcome to Google I/O. I'm Marco Cavalli, a product manager on the Google Home team, and with Pierre Delisle from our partner engineering team, today we'll walk you through the features that Google provides to make it easy for you to build mobile applications for the smart home. Connectivity is a core component of your smart home app experience, but it's not differentiating. And yet today app makers spend a lot of time solving connectivity challenges, particularly across multiple mobile hardware platforms. Our new tools for mobile developers help alleviate the chore of dealing with connectivity so you can focus on creative, innovative experiences in your app for your users. This is an exciting time for the smart home industry. Adoption has been accelerating, with over 60% of households projected to own smart devices by 2026. Over 250 million devices across hundreds of device types and brands are integrated with Google Home today. The introduction of Matter represents a pivotal moment in the industry with easy setup, interoperability, and standardization that promise to further propel smart home adoption. All the announcements at CES this past January are just an indication of the industry excitement around Matter. Google is uniquely positioned to help you build the best mobile applications for the smart home, enabling you to be more productive and innovative. On the technology front, Google is fully committed to Matter and Thread. Google is an active member of the Connectivity Standards Alliance and Thread Group, driving both Matter and Thread initiatives alongside many partners in the industry. We are upgrading many of our Nest devices to act as Matter controllers for Google Home and Thread border routers, so that your devices and applications can integrate and take advantage of seamless setup and the interoperability that Matter provides. Google Home enables your users to interact with your devices in the way that's most convenient to them, from voice to touchscreen, and of course on mobile via your applications, the Google Home app, and Android smart home controls. Android is a significant opportunity for you to reach the over 3 billion active Android users globally with your smart home experience. And finally, Google Home ecosystem includes thousands of brands, a wide variety of device types, and over 80,000 of your devices to form the foundation of a truly vibrant and helpful smart home. We understand that your apps are important to grow your user engagement and provide innovative and delightful experiences to your users. Today, we are announcing a set of solutions to help you build high-quality mobile apps for the smart home quickly, allowing you to focus on your unique value proposition rather than spending resources to solve low-level connectivity challenges. It all starts with the Google Home Developer Center, our portal for all smart home developers to learn about Google Home and Matter, to find resources such as our sample application for Matter and our APIs so you can hit the ground running with Google. Next, Google Play Services Matter APIs make it easy for you to commission your Matter devices into the Google ecosystem, making them accessible through the Android smart home controls, or voice, Google Home app, and Nest devices without any additional effort on your part. Our APIs also make it easy to share your devices with other apps and platforms, or to connect new devices to yours, delivering a more seamless, flexible, and consistent smart home experience for your users. The Google Play Services Matter APIs are available to our early access partners today and will be available in developer preview in June for everyone to try. Finally, we provide a set of tools to help you build, debug, and test your smart home applications directly in Android Studio. The Developer Center is available today for you to learn about Matter and how to integrate with Google Home. You can find documentation on our Google Play Services Matter APIs and our Google Home sample application for Matter that provides a real-life example of how you can use these APIs in your own application. The code of the sample app is available for you to download so you can start developing in no time. If you're building a Matter app, chances are you're also building or updating a Matter device. In June, we will also launch the Developer Console, which provides a guided flow for you to start building your Matter devices and integrating with Google quickly and reliably. To learn more about the Developer Console, check out the session Building testing, and deploying smart home devices for Google Home. And of course, head over to the Developer Center. On the Developer Center, you'll also find Google Home plugins for Android Studio. They provide you with the tools to test your application and your Google Home integration directly from your development environment. The Android Studio plugins allow you to type commands for Google Assistant directly in the editor, so you can test how your applications and your devices interact with Google Home. And you can review cloud logs in real time, again from inside the IDE, to debug your integration more efficiently. And now I'll hand it over to Pierre, who will walk you through how to build mobile applications for Matter using our APIs.
Thanks, Marco. Whether you are a pro developer and your company wants to build a smart home application for its own device ecosystem, or you are a hobbyist Android developer that's excited and curious about Matter, we've got you covered. To help you get started quickly, let's have a look at the Google Home sample application for Matter and how you can use it as a reference to build your own smart home application. The Matter sample application provides a concrete example of how to use our new Google Play Services APIs for Matter that make it easy for you to commission and share your Matter devices across apps and ecosystem. When you launch the Google Home sample app for Matter, the home screen shows the various devices that are part of the sample application fabric. Since we're just starting, no devices are shown yet. Our first action is to click the Add Device button to add a new device to the Google Fabric. Let's say that this device is a Matter-enabled light that we've just purchased. But what exactly is a fabric? A fabric is a core Matter concept and represents a shared domain of trust among devices in the home network that enables them to communicate with each other. This shared domain of trust is established via a common set of cryptographic keys. So let's go ahead and use our sample smart home application to add the light device to the fabric. In the context of Matter, the process of adding a device to a smart home fabric is usually referred to as commissioning a device. To support the commissioning of devices, Google Play Services provides the following key artifacts. First, there is the Matter class, which is the entry point for the Matter APIs. And from that Matter entry point, we can get a commissioning client. Two methods are available so that an instance of commissioning client can be obtained either via a context or an activity. And finally, we invoke commission device on that commissioning client with an appropriate commissioning request parameter. Now let's see what happens in the application when it calls commission device. On the returned intent sender, the app calls start intent sender for result, and control is transferred to Google Play Services, which goes through the following commissioning steps. First, the user needs to establish proof of possession. This is done via a QR code or a manual setup code. Then the device is commissioned into the Google Fabric. To get the device into the Google Fabric, the user has to select the appropriate Google account and the home where this device will be added to. And finally, the device is connected to the network and it is ready to be used. Note that all of that commissioning work and the associated screens are completely handled by Google Play Services when commissioning devices to the Google Fabric to provide this consistent user experience and remove the need to handle sensitive permissions like Wi-Fi and thread credentials. To recap, let's look at what has happened so far through this sequence diagram. The app calls the Commission Device API. This call transfers control to Google Play Services, which does the following. It asks the user to establish proof of possession, communicates with the device to commission it into the Google Fabric, and finally connects the device to the network, which is Wi-Fi or thread. Note that the user doesn't need to enter Wi-Fi credentials, as these are handled behind the scenes by Google Play Services. Now, at this point, the commissioning that has happened so far has added the device to the Google Fabric, which enables you users to control your device through the Google Home app on Android and iOS, Android Power Controls, or voice with a Nest Display, speaker, or Nest Wi-Fi in the home. That's definitely very convenient. But what does that mean for your application? If your application wants to be able to control and manage that newly added device independently, it needs to add it to its own fabric, where it has the operational credentials to perform such actions. Let's use our sample app to see how we can commission the device into our own fabric so that the device can also be controlled within the same application. To enable this, we specify in the commission request the service that will handle commissioning to our fabric. In this case, the commissioning service is implemented by the sample apps class App Commissioning Service. App Commissioning Service is an Android service that implements the commissioning service callback interface. And the important method in that callback interface is onCommissioning requested. The argument to onCommissioning requested is a commissioning request metadata object, which includes a device descriptor with vendor ID, product ID, device type, as well as a network location object with IP address and port number, allowing for IP-based multi-admin commissioning. And there we have it. As we've discussed, in the first part of commissioning, the device was commissioned to the Google Fabric. And in this second part, the device was commissioned on the app's own custom fabric. Going back to the home screen of the sample application, we see that the device now appears because it has been commissioned to the app's own custom fabric. If you do a long press on the device icon, this brings up the device's specific screen where all the various controls supported by the device are shown. Now, note that this screen also has a button labeled Shared Device. This brings up our next topic, another key feature of the Matter standard, device sharing. Sharing a device is referred to as multi-admin flow in the Matter specification. We saw in our discussion of the commissioning flow that the mobile SDK makes it possible to commission the device both on the Google Fabric and on the app's custom fabric as shown on the slide. That's multi-admin right there, where we make it possible for a device to be part of more than one fabric. Now, we may want to share the device with even more fabrics, especially if this is a household where people have their own preferences when it comes to applications and platforms. Sharing a device on an additional fabric is what's triggered when the Shared Device button is pressed. And here's how that device sharing flow works. The first step is to open a temporary commissioning window with the device. Doing this puts the device in a state where it allows its commissioning on an additional fabric. Setting up that temporary commissioning window is done via the Matter SDK, as shown on the slide. Information specified in the call to open pairing with window includes the duration of the temporary commissioning window, a discriminator, which is a random value to discriminate between multiple devices that may otherwise look the same, and finally the setup pin code, also known as passcode. At that point, the temporary commissioning window is open on the device. And the sample app then uses the Google Play Services Device Sharing API to trigger the rest of the device sharing flow. First, we build a shared device request. The device descriptor provides specific information about the device, such as its vendor ID, product ID, and device type. The values set for the commissioning window are the same as the ones that were used to open the temporary commissioning window with the device, as we saw on the previous slide. Then we use Commissioning Client to call the Shared Device API. On success, we call Launch on the Shared Device Launcher, which is an activity result launcher that takes over once the activity that was triggered for device sharing completes its task. The device sharing flow triggers the following in the app. A share sheet is presented on the screen, which allows users to choose the application or platform they want to pair the device to. The share sheet provides two ways for users to share the device, either manually through a setup code to be shared with the target commissioner app, or via a local Android application that has registered as a Matter commissioner. And I'll explain in more detail shortly how this is done. And from then on, it is the target commissioner that completes the commissioning of the device into its own fabric, so that we eventually end up in the following state. The device can now participate in 3 fabrics: the Google fabric, the sample app fabric, and finally the 3rd fabric that we have just shared the device with. Now let's have a look at what a smart home application must do to be considered a target commissioner when another app or ecosystem triggers device sharing. For this, the application must register as a commissioner. This is done by specifying an intent filter in the app for Action Commission Device. By doing this, when the sharing action is initiated, the app is included in the list. Google Play Services sends the Action Commission Device intent to the chosen commissioner, including a set of intent extras providing information on the device to share. The commissioner receiving the intent uses this information to construct a new commissioning request to include in the call to the Commission Device API. And with that, we have the whole picture for sharing Matter devices on Android, as shown on this sequence diagram. This concludes our journey of the Google Home sample application for Matter and how to use our Matter APIs to commission and share devices with Google and other applications and platforms. The Matter APIs are available to our early access partners in the Google Play Services today and will launch as public developer preview in June. To familiarize yourself with the Matter APIs, head over to the Google Home Developer Center, where you can find our sample application, code labs, and more details. Have a pleasant journey.